Rightio, welcome to Uncle Brent's Shed. On this episode, we tackle the A-pillar on the VC. Rightio-ski. I've had to cut the bottom of the seal where it welds to the inner section there. And then I've made a bit of angle to join the two together because I should have showed it before I cut it, but there's actually a gap. I'll show you on the underside. Essentially what I'm trying to say is where the top of the seal comes along here, that section there, you can see tapers inwards. That's a different angle to the outside. So now I'm going to move on to this section at the top here, simply because if I enclose this area here and start working up there, all the crap from up there is going to fall down inside of here and be trapped in there. So I'll do this top section here now and then go back to the bottom. Rightio, can't quite remember where I was at. It's been a few days, but I'm attempting to rebuild the top of this A-pillar. So as you can see, it's pretty rotted out. It's very weak. It's basically got a hole on every side. This patch here shouldn't be too bad. I'll cut that into a nice big rectangle and obviously bend the steel in the curve and buzz that one in. Right, on this section I started making a piece to go here. So to get welded there, and then this actually steps in and then out. But the problem here is up the top, I don't have a lot of material up there to weld to. It's all rusty. So I'm going to attempt to make a new top section to go up in there. I'll make it out of cardboard first and then make one out of steel. That's simply to give it a bit of structure. I'll be able to weld it around the edges, I reckon. And then that'll give me something for the rest of the puzzle to get welded to. But first, I think I'll tackle that. Rightio ski, I've made a patch for there. That's ready to get welded in, but I think I might go one step better and get a bit of steel that goes from here. I can weld it there right through on the back side and then weld it down here just to give that a bit of structure in there. It shouldn't take long to knock up, and I think overall it's way better off. Rightio, so I just knocked up this other patch. So it's through there to the front. Get that tacked along that edge there, and obviously back there. And it'll all make sense because it'll give me something to join my top section to. And yeah, just stiffen it up a little bit more. Rightio, got that section tacked in, well, welded in. This is a bit funny along that edge there with the rust trying to bubble through. Yeah, a little bit ugly there, but it's in there. Managed to get a few tacks along the back on the really rusty section, so it's not going to go anywhere. I'll clean this up now and weld that patch in. Right, got that bit welded in. Looks a bit gross, but I'll grind it up in a sec and we'll have another look at it. Had to chase a hole down here because it's so thin. I thought I wasn't going to get it, but I think I have. I will give it a grind up now and have a look. Got a few pinholes. I'm not going to chase them because they're just gonna keep going. Now I need to make my patch for the roof. I'll just obviously cut the shape of this out. I'll be able to get a good weld along the back there on this new bit of material put in, and then I'll just tack it around the edges. Go back to here, and then that'll give me something to weld the rest of this to at the top. Right, so I started making a patch for the top of here. Cut one out of cardboard, so it goes that way. Up in there. Just rough that out, obviously. Then shape one out of steel. Now obviously that needs fine tuning, so we'll do that now. It needs a little bit of a bow to it, sort of this way, but straight that way, if that makes sense. So we'll do that, get that up in there, and the hole for the guard, there we are there. Once that's welded in there, I'll drill that out and file it out and whatnot afterwards, so it's in the right spot. Oh, one more thing too, if you can hear that weird noise in the background, a little gas heater going because it's a bit chilly here tonight. Got me little patch made up, got a hole in it there. I'm going to put a tech screw in it and a washer to hold it up on that panel. I just got to prime the top side of this and just have a little bit of a tidy up under there so my shitty welds will stick, and then we'll paint over it so you can't see me welds. But I've just come to a habit now of deoxidizing every little patch I make. I've never ever done it before. I normally just wire wheel stuff or sand it back to bare metal, and then like etch prime it, coat it with something. But I'm yeah, I've got into the habit now, especially on this, and hopefully I carry it over onto my charger to yeah, deoxidize everything. Like I said, that sill panel, that's probably been 2 weeks, and it's not even showing any signs of corrosion or rust. And you know, it's in the middle of a winter, so there's a lot of moisture in the air, and that's yeah, hasn't changed, so it's a bonus. Like it in the spray booth. Right, tech screw with the panel washer, holding that panel in there. I think it's gonna work pretty good. I just got to push up a little bit in that corner. Only a tad, you can hear it hitting something. Hopefully I can get I should be able to get a reasonable weld across the back. There's just a bit of a gap there, I need to adjust it, but you get the picture. So I'll probably just skip to a time lapse. Now, I'm pretty sure I said in previous videos that I'm not a welder. So I've managed to get it to stick to the rust, which is a good thing. It's a little bit gross in that back corner, but it is what it is. I will give it a little bit of a clean up, but you're not going to see any of that. I'll obviously knock the dags off and just prime it. Now I'm going to attempt to trim that hole out with the most aggressive blade, because I can't find my other one. I like this Makita jigsaw, except it doesn't have a trigger you just turn it on here, it has a speed thing here. So let's see if we can break something. Wow, that worked way better than I thought. Rightioski. Really happy how that turned out. Lucky the guard bolts on from the top, and you can see there was a shim there. I don't know where it went. I probably swept it up in all the dirt that was under there, but anyway, that turned out good. Now I just got to run the grinder around here and give it a coat of primer. Right, so I whittled up this bit of an angle section here. Now, one of the reasons I didn't explain why I'm stiffening this area up is the actual bonnet hinge. The bonnet hinge section was actually missing. So, piecing this together, that section goes up there, and where that cross is where I've got to drill a hole and put a bolt through. So I'll just put a bolt with a nylock nut, and that'll do for the hinge. All right, I've got to get this tacked in. Rightio, got that buzzed in. Turned out pretty good, pretty happy with it. So I just got to make a patch for here now. Stitch that in, and then I might actually tackle that little rust hole there. It's starting to annoy me. And yeah, we'll work our way down to the bottom. Rightio, so got the rest of that stitched in there. Pretty happy with the outcome. All the crap's hidden inside, but I don't even think I'm gonna grind that. There's probably no point. That's repaired. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna repair that little hole, and while I'm here, I might put something from this corner down to here, just a bit of like a square, but I'll beat it to shape and jam that in there for a bit of extra support. All right, let's dig this hole out. I've got a funny feeling I'm gonna regret this. That's just a die grinding tip on a drill, obviously. I'm just simply trying to find the thicker material so it's easier to weld. Right, got my little patch made up, all undercoated. It's actually gonna go inside, so I'll poke it inside and lift it up. It's not the ideal way to do it, but it'll be easier for me because the material is so thin, and then I'll probably just put welds over the top of this to build up the height difference. I'm using thicker material, same as all the stuff on the hinge area. That's I think it's 1.6 mil. It's just easy to work with. The seal panel is all 1 mil. but didn't turn out as good as I'd like. Can't really see it. It's way too thin to chase those little holes around the edge, so that's how it's going to stay. I'm not sure what I'll put over it yet. Probably a bit of cold galv or something. Rightioski, I'm finally finished on the top of this A-pillar. Yeah, it's ugly, but at least the door won't fall off and I can hang my bonnet hinge on there now. Now I get to play with the bottom half. Right, so it just took me, I don't know, an hour. Yeah, believe it or not, about an hour to knock that up. That goes on the front side there. Fits pretty good. Another thing I did too is got a little level bubble and put it on the top of the seal panel there and made sure it was the same level here, and it wasn't, so I had to jack her up with a block of wood just so we know, you know, the seal panel's the same level all the way along, or same angle. All right, I'll buzz this in. Right, so you got that half welded in. Just made this piece up. Now that's just a leftover piece of the new seal panel. Obviously cut it off the end. Yeah, so let's lock that up. And I'm about to buzz that in. Now you're probably thinking it'd probably be a lot easier to take those hinges off, but if you have a look at the condition of the bolts, I'm pretty sure I'd snap them off, so I've been trying to work around them. Rightioski, got that welded in. Where I've missed down the bottom, I've welded on the inside. Just put weld through primer on there, get ready to weld my other patch on. Good to go. Got him all welded in. Pretty happy with how that turned out. And I just made a template from the other side. It's a rough template to get my curve cut there. So I'll cut that bit off first and then I'll fine tune it, and then we'll make the section up. It goes on the inside, which will look similar to that section. Right, all looking sweet. Put some undercoat down the inside there, poured it in. Now I just got to make a patch for here, and I'll use another piece of this, that top section, because it's already sort of the right profile. Rightio, this section I thought wouldn't have been too bad to make, but it's been a little bit painful. I tried to shrink the inside edge, and then I pie cut it as well. Nah, it just got too hard, so I'll keep trimming this till it fits minty, then weld it in, and then I'll have to make a little single dog leg to go inside of here. Rightio, I've gone with this method. I'm gonna spot weld that little dog leg golf club looking thing in there first, and then I'll get this one to fit in there, weld it around the inner, weld it along this edge here after I trim it back. Right, got him welded in. I'll give that a grind up now and then start making a new section for there. Oh, maybe I'll be able to modify the original one to fit. We'll see. Right, so I didn't have to make a new one from scratch. So I managed to save the original one I made. So it doesn't fit too bad. I just got to put a few holes in here for me plug welds. Yep, got him all welded in. Just a matter of cleaning up now with the grinder. And then I can tackle the underside and the front of the seal. Well, I gave it a clean up and then forgot to video it and then give it a prime, so there she is, all finished. Well, if you made it to the end of this one, another one that sort of started blowing out, I've cut it short. I've still got to finish the front of the seal and weld it along the bottom, but that'll be another episode. I might mix it up a bit and throw a couple of different videos in next, so you're not just getting bored with this one. Yeah, I bought another car, and also we'll get the 1UZ running for this thing, I think. Cheers for watching, and look after your mates.